Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
So we did talk about religious freedom, and I will say that the Prime Minister was incredible on what he told me. He wants people to have religious freedom, and very strongly, and he said that in India they have worked very hard to have great and open religious freedom. About Pakistan. I have a very good relationship with Prime Minister Khan, very good. We talked about it today at length, actually, and Prime Minister Modi. And it's no question it's a problem, but it's a problem they're working on it. India is, it's a brave nation too. There's no pullback from India. And we just hope, and I said I'll help, I'll do whatever I have to do if I can do that, because my relationship with both gentlemen is so good. But there has been difficulty in Pakistan, and we're seeing what we can do about it. Anything I can do to mediate, anything I can do to help, I would do. They're working on Kashmir. Kashmir has been a thorn in a lot of people's sides for a long time. And there are two sides to every story, but they've been working on that very hard. We discussed it at great length, terrorism. And I think we have some very good ideas. I just said Kashmir, obviously. There's a big problem between Pakistan and India. And I think they're going to work out their problem. But I will say they've been doing it for a long time. So we did talk about religious freedom, and I will say that the Prime Minister was incredible on what he told me. He wants people to have religious freedom, and very strongly, and he said that in India they have worked very hard to have great and open religious freedom. And if you look back and look at what's going on relative to other places especially, but they have really worked hard on religious freedom. I asked that question in front of a very large group of people today. And he talked about it. We talked about it for a long time. And I really believe that's what he wants. As far as the individual attack, I heard about it, but I didn't discuss that with him. That's up to India. Yesterday, which was something pretty bad with respect to the virus, and we'll see what happens. I see the futures are up today, up fairly substantially, but that's a very serious thing, but we think we're in very good shape in the United States. We've essentially closed the borders to areas where we had to close them, and we had very few. We took in 32 people over the last 2 days because they were sick, and they're Americans, and they're great people. What are you going to do? They're in quarantine, but we had essentially 12 people. Many of them are getting better now. Soon they'll all be better, we hope. And we're watching very carefully. So we've had a very, very good stretch of, let's just say we're fortunate so far, and we think it's going to remain that way. China is working very, very hard. I've spoken to President Xi, and they're working very hard. And if you know anything about him, I think he'll be in pretty good shape. They've had a rough patch. And I think right now they have it. It looks like they're getting it under control more and more. They're getting it more and more under control. So I think that's a problem that's going to go away. But we lost almost 1,000 points yesterday on the market, and that's something, things like that happen and you have it in your business all the time. Had nothing to do with you. It's an outside source that nobody would have ever predicted. If you go back 6 months or 3 months ago, nobody would have ever predicted.